Today on Behind the Design, we're in Somerset, visiting the founders of Huckleberry, Matt and Claire. Their deep curiosity for art, architecture and British heritage design is what shapes their beautifully crafted garden and kitchen furniture. I can't wait to further explore the story behind how their unique and thoughtfully created pieces are made. Lovely to see you both. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, hi Monique.
Hi.
Welcome to Somerset.
Come in anyway. Come have some coffee.
So is this one of your pieces from Huckleberry?
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is a prep table. And actually it can be used indoors or outdoors, obviously with a stone top if it's outdoors. But yeah, you can see we've got our little Huckleberry badge on there with the swallow.
And what's the story behind this logo?
There's a little swallow on every piece of furniture we do, and it really originates from the first office we had was in a lovely old barn, and we had swallows nesting there, and we used to see them coming in and out every day. And it just kind of made us feel all homely and lovely, and you know, that's the sort of idea of Huckleberry, that it's a very sort of homely brand.
It's your lucky symbol now.
It is, yeah, it's our lucky symbol.
Well, I saw on the way in you have a lovely piece in your garden, so
Yes.
I'd love to go look at that too.
Let's grab a coffee. So yeah, this is one of our garden kitchens.
Where we came from with this was trying to create furniture that works inside and outside, has longevity. I mean, solid oak, it just gets better and better with age. It starts to build up a bit of character and patina, as you can see. This one is doing so already. But really the other thing is just these little nods to traditional joinery. We're not using undermounted runners, we're not using anything else. We're back to basics here. We're creating something that would have perhaps been around 100 years ago, 200 years ago. We're celebrating that sort of traditional look and feel. Bullnose edges, cock bead details, solid brass butt hinges, handmade brass knobs made in Birmingham.
Would you say when you're designing them, do you take a lot of inspiration from the past?
Yes, very much so.
And are there any particular...
We're in a Georgian property.
Yes.
And the Georgians were great. Their proportions were so strong. They really understood the sort of golden ratio and things like that. So as a designer, I sort of perhaps have sucked all of that up. What I think is really special and where we're imparting our passions into our furniture is, again, back to basics, you know, handmade brass knobs. They'll patinate up over time and they'll get all, you know, nice and tarnished, and they'll feel as if they've been there for donkey's years. You know, when you start to sort of appreciate the sort of skills and the level of workmanship that goes into our furniture, you sort of really get an understanding of why it's so special.
Something which is absolutely beautifully made and made in Britain.
And it's made to last.
Definitely made to last.
Properly looked after. This should last forever. I mean, you go to a church and look at their oak doors, they could have been there hundreds of years. This is no different. It's good, solid oak furniture. It's no different at all.
I can tell you're very passionate about design and what you do. Where did that come from, do you think?
I could pretty much tell you exactly when it was. I was probably around 8 or 9 years old. And I was at school, and I remember watching boys come out of an after-school woodwork class clutching a wooden pencil case or a box or something they'd made. And I can't tell you how, but I just felt a real draw to that. So I ended up doing woodwork classes, roll on many, many years, and I just never stopped. I did it all the way through school. I went to art college, then I did a degree in industrial design and manufacture of furniture, which is why I met Claire. And then I started as a freelance designer in London, and I was very lucky to work for some really brilliant brands. I mean, the biggest joy at the time, I think, was being a designer for Habitat. Terence Conran was a massive influence on me when I was younger, and to be in the Hills building designing pieces of furniture which were then going to go into production. I think one table stayed in production for about 8 years. It was quite remarkable. That buzz has never left.
Why did you start Huckleberry?
I think it was pandemic, wasn't it? We were literally at home. There wasn't a lot going on. And we just got to this point where we're sitting around the kitchen table and said, if we take this and we take that and do that, we can create this. And I think all of a sudden it got a very, very exciting moment.
Yeah, I mean, the idea really was to make furniture that we loved, that really kind of ticked every box for us. And hopefully if we loved it, then other people would. It was really good fun, actually, because how often do you really get to do exactly what you like doing 24/7? And that was really what kept us going. And I hope that we are able to maintain that sort of authenticity with the business, decisions being made about money rather than actually what is good design and what fits with what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and that really fits in with our passions for making sure that the British furniture industry grows. We can get more students into workshops, we can get more companies building this fabulous industry, because we're very, very good at it in this country. It's not just in furniture, it's in music, it's in art, it's in architecture especially. Britain is a very inventive country.
We've got so much going for us in terms of quality craftsmanship, and it's something we really need to shout about.
There's a ruthless doggedness.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, this is the beating heart of Huckleberry. I've gone back to being an analog designer. Computers, fantastic, very efficient, but actually now everything I do starts with a sketch. My sketchbook. And this goes everywhere with me, all around the world. And inside here are all my notes. Every time I spot something, I write it down or see it. But drawing-wise, it can be just a really random doodle. It can be more detailed items. These are things that I find exciting, and I've got down here which I can now then put onto here, waiting for the right client to come along, for the opportunity to use that detail that has excited me so much at the time. It also makes the furniture unique to us. So we're not trying to emulate anybody else. We're standing apart. We are Huckleberry.
And you took that picture in Kenya, didn't you, when we were there recently, just getting inspiration?
What I'm after doing is recreating this frieze, which we're going to put onto our pergolas. When somebody says, how did you come up with that, or where did it come from? You can then immediately say, well, I was in this place, I saw this, I felt inspired. And what tends to happen is there's a sort of element of excitement, as almost a manifestation of energy, and if we both feel that.
Yeah, and sometimes Matt comes up with an idea and he shows me and we're like, oh my God, and we're really, really excited about it, and then we just have to kind of develop it and make it into something new.
We use reference books for everything. I mean, look at that, isn't that just gorgeous? But when you consider architects like Charles Voysey, for instance, he would have adored that and put it onto some of his work, at the turn of the century. So nothing is ever original.
Yes.
What we do is we take inspiration and then recreate it in our own way. And musicians do it, artists do it, everybody who's creative does it. Otherwise, where do you get inspiration from? When people come to you and they want it, you say, oh, you succeeded personally. And that's a real hit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, people have very much a connection to beautiful buildings. It's something that people can relate to. It's not fast furniture like fast fashion. It's a slow process, because you're making something that's going to last potentially decades, if not 100 years. It's going to be there in your garden as long as you look after it properly. And to make something of that quality takes a while. A lot goes into it, an awful lot.
You're one of Walpole's brands of tomorrow. How do you feel they've really helped develop Huckleberry as a business?
This is the Book of British Luxury from Walpole, and there we are, featured as a brand of tomorrow. We had to go and do a pitch to them, which was a bit like Dragon's Den. We made the grade, which has been brilliant, and we've been mentored for a whole year. I suppose you'd call it an incubator programme. A lot about expanding our horizons and seeing the bigger picture, and just giving you the confidence to realise that anything is possible.
It's quite humbling to realise that some of the biggest brands in the world, diamonds, jewellery, cars, whatever, that they all started somewhere. And we were able to be given insights from people within those companies as to what it is that makes them tick. It's what's known as the why. And once we had understood that and we had started to develop our own why, then everything actually starts to slot into place. And that is brand building. All very well having a product, it's all very well having a look, but ultimately what we're doing is building a brand.
What do you think your main mission building Huckleberry is?
I think it's just to make beautiful furniture. I mean, there's so much satisfaction in making something really special and seeing your ideas come to life.
Yeah.
Also seeing our furniture in beautiful garden designs.
Job that went down to the south of France, down to, where was it, near
Saint-Maxime.
Saint-Maxime. It went off in the back of a truck. We never thought I'd see it again. And then, you know, a week later, we get some photos through of it sitting there with palm trees behind it and the Mediterranean. And you just think, oh my gosh, you know, the last time I saw that, it was on a cold, wet day in, you know, in the workshops. And now it's, you know, sitting there. And
it's like seeing your babies kind of develop and go into their own world. It's really fun.
And I think that, you know, those little things, we are a family and the business is a family and all our clients are with us and they're with us forever.
I've really enjoyed my time with Matt and Claire, the founders of Huckleberry, a brand that is the epitome of what a British brand should be, where everything is meticulously designed and deliberately made. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Behind the Design.